why we apply this. Are you getting it? So what we then need to do now is to bring in our what? Our choose function. So I'm just going to do this now, right? So if I say choose, you can see that the first thing that you brought out is the index number. So the index number, you just come and select. It doesn't matter what you have here, whether it is 1, 2, or 3. It doesn't matter. What matters is the order of selection of your values. I repeat, it does not matter whether it is 3, 2, or 1 that you have here. What matters is the order of selection of the values as arguments reporting into the choose function. So what I will do is to put my comma. So now the order of the value is that I know that base case is 1, best case is 2, and worst case is 3. So this one doesn't matter whether it is 3, 2, or 1. But what matters is I cannot come here and select worst case first. Then 2, I will not select best. 3, I will not select base. It will be incorrect because the order of selection here is that the order of how will I put it? The order of my reporting here is base is 1, best is 2, and worst is 3. So I must follow the same order when I'm putting it in my choose function. Exactly. So the order is this is 1, this is 2, and this is what? This is 3. Exactly. So I can press enter. That makes it correct because you can see that this is 2. Because it is 2, it is reporting 10% as the active forecasting factor, which is the best case. You can see. And best case is number 2. Worst case is number 3. So again, so this is where our knowledge, you can see reason why I had to introduce referencing first, because without us understanding a referencing, it will be difficult, like I said, moving along with Excel, because when you see complex Excel formulas, when they now have to be fixing one, like when we get to the new tax, the payee template for the new tax acts, you see the functions that were written there and how they were, referencing were applied and all that. So again, what you need to do here is to fix this R2. So you type dollar before R and also dollar before 2. Why do I need to do that? Because I have to ensure that this particular cell is static. So if I copy it now and then I look at the line items, I know that my COGS will be responsive to my computation and also my OPEX. So I will just drop it by function in my OPEX. So whatever I select here will respond. If I select my worst case, what it means that all the forecasting factor here will report into the active column, and then I can then drive my projection using the active case by saying the last base year number multiplied by 1 plus what I currently have in my active case, and then I can fix this guy, and then I can lock this cell, right? So it's easier for me to drag, copy what I have here, drop it in the COGS. Automatically, my GP calculates. I can drop it in the OPEX, and I have my EBITDA auto calculating. Okay, so that is it for that. In accounting, of course, we don't have minus 50, minus 50. This is not our professional way of presenting numbers as accountants. So how do you convert this to brackets? Just highlight it. I can do it at once. I can highlight everything here, press my control, highlight what I have here, and right click, go to my format cells, right? Once you get to your format cells, come to custom. So you can see they are already custom built features there. You can just select this one in bracket, but you can type it out yourself. Okay, maybe I should just type it out so that you can learn it. Or if you need to type it out yourself, just press your hash. Where's my hash? So just press your hash. Okay, I've gotten it. So just press your hash, comma, hash, right? You can put your semicolon, open brackets, hash, hash. Okay. If you want decimal there, you can include decimal, but make sure that you put decimal in the positive too. And then you press OK. Can you see? So it converts all your stuff to decimal. So you have to make sure you are consistent in your reporting. So if that is the decimal, every other thing must be in decimal, in 1 decimal point, right? So every other thing must be in 1 decimal point. I mean, these are some of the silent things that we need to understand. So do we have a question? So with this now, I've been able to kill 3 birds with 1 stone. Any question? Okay, to make it the class interactive.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
The format cell, how you get put those figures in jacket? It didn't show on the screen how you move to the format cell and what you entered before the figures found themselves in the bracket.
Okay, no problem. I'll run through it again. So let's say I have
Thank you.
1,000. This is in this. Oh, sorry. So this is minus 1,000. I mean, is it 1,000? 100,000. This is 100,000. So just right click, go to format cells. Then you will see custom. See custom here. Click on this custom. Do you get? Then this general, highlight it, and then you type hash, comma, hash. Then you can put, if you want to it in decimal, you can put 0.0 there. Then you can put semicolon. You understand? Then you type it again, hash, comma, hash, and press enter. That's all. So your Excel function has that features already, like default, by default, it has it. I'm just saying that sometimes you may need to type it out. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Even in valuation, when we are doing valuation, sometimes you can have instances where, for instance, you are talking about EBITDA multiples, where you have to say 2x, 3x, and all that. For instance, you are seeing the figure like this, 3x. Now, ordinarily, if you have 3x like this, and I want us to pay attention to this, right? So if you have 3x like this, 3x like this is in form of a text. It's reporting as a text because I'm typing alphanumeric in Excel. So Excel is saying this as a text. So I cannot have 3x and then I have 10. And then you can see that this is right aligned, this is left aligned to show that this is a text. So I can say 3x times 10. It's going to give me a value error. So what do I do to convert this one to number? For instance, let's say in finance application, this is EBITDA multiple. EBITDA multiple in valuation, right? So this is EBITDA multiple. EBITDA multiple is 3x, right? But I have my EBITDA, maybe the target company EBITDA that I need to value. Do you understand? So let's say the target company EBITDA is what's this? Target company EBITDA is what? It's 2 million, right? And then I need to arrive at the value, evaluation. You understand? So what do I do? This is giving me error. I can't work on this. So what I need to do is to format this cell so that whatever figure, alphanumeric figure I type there, automatically see it as an EBITDA multiple. Do you understand? So if I take this out, I can go to my format cells, custom, right? General. So what I need to do is just type in my, what's it called? I can type in my hash, depending on how I want it anyway. I can say hash 0.0, then I can put in quotation X. So if I type 3 here, can you see? So it give me 3.0x at an EBITDA, target EBITDA of 2 billion, giving me a valuation of 6 million. Do you get? So That's how you, so when you see all those things, it automatically recognize, you can see that it is now right aligned instead of a left alignment. Is that clear? So these are some of the things that myself and my colleagues are also going to deep dive into during the paid webinar so that we're able to see complete scenarios and building some of these things from scratch. And we have made this webinar free so that at least for those of us that are participants live on the webinar can have access to the paid webinar at a discounted amount. That is for those who wants to join us during the paid webinar. But if not, I can assure you that what you are still getting during this free webinar is still sufficient. It's still sufficient for you to kickstart. But for you to learn more, I mean, I will encourage you to subscribe for the paid webinar as well. All right, so that's fine. Let's move ahead. Now, you can see that I was able to demonstrate the use of the choose function, data validation, if function, custom formatting of cells, to make sure that an alphanumeric text is appearing as numbers that we can then apply in our finance task, right? So we're able to achieve that. Again, for you to present your reports in a more professional way, right? It is often the case that when you see an Excel professionals who understand the nitty-gritty of how to work around Excel, they go beyond just using data validation to show their scenarios or to show to run sensitivity or simulation. You understand? They can go as far as running it using a combo X active X combo, which is a which is a visual basic for application feature in Excel. And that's what I want to run through now. Okay, so I'll briefly run through this so that we can just appreciate what I'm talking about. Now you can see that here we have all these base cases, best case, worst case, and all that I've itemized. All I need to do is to come to, what is it called? So you need to come to your file, options, and then you need to come to customize ribbon. Right? So by default, Excel does not activate your developer tab for you. So you have to be the one to activate it yourself. So you may check your own Excel and you won't see it being active. Can anyone hear me? So if you don't see it being active, all you just need to do is just to activate it here, and then you click on OK. So it activates your developer tab, which gives you the VBA features in Excel. Do you understand? So once you have done that, you can then run through your designs. So what I will do is come to insert, and then I see my ActiveX controls. I can drop my ActiveX controls here, right? So you can see this. So rather than having the file, like when we did here, when we did this, and then we have a drop down like a data validation, we actually see it like an icon. So it shows up like an icon. So you can, you can walk around this. Once you have done that, you take note of where you have your list. For instance, we have our list here, which is P2 to P4, right? So you can right click and then you can go to properties. If you get to properties, you see where you have your list field range. So your list field range is P2, again, P2 to P2 to P4, right? So you can see I'm typing it in the list field range because I already know where the ranges of those numbers are. Then I need to link it to a cell. You can see where you have linked cells. I can link it to cell B1 because I know there's nothing in B1. So I link it to cell B1 and then I close it. So once I close it, I deactivate the design mode. And then once I click this, you can see it comes up here. Can you see? So because I have linked it to cell B1, whatever I select here, will be appearing in cell B1. It will be appearing in cell B1. Do you understand? Now, the choose function that I want to use cannot work with a text. It can only work with numbers. Do you understand? So what I have to do is to convert this, whatever is showing here, to a number. Again, by applying the if function. I've run through this before. You understand? It's just to say, if you didn't listen properly when I did it, I'm doing it again. If this is equals to, what will be the first thing? The best thing we want, base case, right? Give me 1. Otherwise, if what I have here is what? Best case. Give me 2, otherwise give me 3, and then close it. So because I'm selecting base case, it's giving me 1. So whatever I select, if I select best case, it will give me 2 here. If I select worst case, it will give me 3. Do you understand? Now, what I then need to do is to ensure that I'm not going to write this choose function again, because I've done this before. It's just to ensure that my index number is picking whatever is reporting here, and then I press enter. So again, you can do your absolute referencing by highlighting it and pressing function F4 and enter. So all you just need to do is just copy it and then paste it by, that's all. So whatever you do here automatically drives what reports here and what comes into your Q1 projection. So it makes your reporting look more professional as an accountant, and then you are able to provide management, real-time information for decision-making purposes. Okay. Do we have a question at this junction? Any question, any feedback, contribution? Okay. All right, that's fine. Well, can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I can
Yes,
hear
we
you.
can.
Yes, we can hear
Loud
you.
and clear.
We can hear you.
I hear you.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so let's move ahead. Let's move ahead. I would like to talk about the sum if and sum is function, just some key functions, so that I can give time for my colleagues to also come in and just introduce you to some aspect of Power BI. So once I'm done with this, I can show you samples of management accounts built using some of all these functions we spoke about, and also show you the payee new tax law template as well, which we are going to share as a free file for joining this training, and then just show you some of the functions that I use there, and part of what we're still going to delve in later in the paid webinar. Okay, so again, now the sum if and sum is function. I'm just going to show you the direct accounting application. Some of us are used to it already, but I mean, we still have some accountants that rather than using the sum if to automate their management accounts or their annual reports, annual financial statement, they still go through the route of linking line items, financial line items one by one and adding it. I still see some accountants still do that, even in this year 2026. And that's what we are trying to guide against, and by ensuring that everybody's compliant with Excel tools. Okay, so for the sum if is as the word denotes, sum if a condition exists. So you are summing given that the criteria exists, right? And then we are going to see the practicality of that when we look at the management account. Now, for instance, this I will just demonstrate with this example. So this is showing a supplier. We have supplier, right? Supplier details, we have amount. So we just want to, there is a criteria here, which is the sum for supplier ABC. So you can see that supplier ABC is being put in quotation here because it's a text. So sum if is just saying, is just talking about one criteria. So if we say sum if, it will already give you the syntax. The range is what you have here, comma. Again, the criteria, we are looking at supplier. So you put it in quotation. That is supplier what? ABC. So you close quotation, and then the sum range, you select the sum range. Sorry, I didn't put my last comma. So you put your last comma, and then you select the sum range, and then you click enter. So that gives you this. Now, again, where your data validation comes in here is also very important, because you don't want to be typing this. You want to auto-generate your report by selecting any supplier here. So just go to data validation. Again, if you didn't listen when we did it before, I'm doing it again. And list, source, select everything you have here, and click on OK. Now, since you have linked it, you have a source here where you have your data validation, right? It's easier for me to do away with this guy in the middle and just select whatever I have here and press OK. So any selection I make here auto reports, right? So we can have supply XYZ appearing twice. So if I select supply XYZ, it picks this plus this, and then it gives you the total as 270. So it makes your reporting easier, because when you have your management accounts, your TBs in one cell, which is your chart of account, you can have your income statement. You have already mapped it. So you just use your sum if to just pick whatever you have, those chart of account or TB, and then it also reports. So you have an instance where you just drop your TB in your chart of account, and then your financial statement auto calculates. Okay, so without much ado, let me just go to a sample of a management account. So you can look at what we have here. This is a sample of a management account where we have, unlike in an instance where we see management account being reported, where you have to, for every analysis that you need to do, you need to start withdrawing your management account or go through prior files and start getting information from those prior files. All you just need to do is just to select the particular months you want to review. It will give you the same period prior month, and also give you the quarterly reports. And then we can have our dashboards also auto-populated. So what I'm just showing you here is how a typical standard management account should report. A simple standard management account will have an executive dashboard, so have a cover page, a dashboard data where you report all your data, all your information. But we are not going to run this through this. I'm just showing you what to expect when we have our paid webinar, which I believe most of us should subscribe to enhance our professional skills, right? There is a place we have the dashboard data reporting form. These are where I call this your engine, the engine of your dashboard. So where you do all your computations or your analysis, and the final result comes here. So you can see the gross profit margin, operating profit margin, the return on asset, return on equity. You can, just at a quick glance. And whatever you select here, at the points, report automatically changes your charts, right? Because this is auto-linked. It's auto-linked. Now, you have your last 3 months also reporting as well. The income statement, the balance sheets, the cash flow statement, the pivots, the balance sheet pivot and IS pivot. So the balance sheet pivot and IS pivot just quickly give us a shape of how our income statement and balance sheet should look like. And then I have my budget also incorporated within the same sheet. My chart of accounts. Again, I was explaining something around sum if. The question is, how do you bring in all these chart of all these numbers in your chart of account into your management account? It's with the use of sum ifs. Because each line item have been mapped. There are more than one line item that report as current assets, as cash and cash equivalent. So you use your sum if to auto-populate them into your management account. So we could look at sample templates, standard best practice for management account reporting, and call. Also taking a look at functions like index and match for your budgeting. Again, the last part is what we are also going to share, which is if you don't have the sample payee template computation per employee, we can share this. We'll share this after the class so that you can study it and look at some of the Excel functions that are used here, right? You can see the if function, basically the sum if. Now there is a sheet here. For instance, let me zoom this so that you can see it properly. This particular sheet, you can see that if I click on this drop down, it's showing either 0 or 1 under pension. Now this 0 or 1 under pension is a switch. We know pension is now allowable. Pension is allowable, so it's not taxable. So if I put it on 0, it shows that there is no pension. If I put it on 1, it shows that I'm switching it on, and then it auto reports into the payee templates, and then it calculates, it's auto calculates. So you can get a sample. We'll share a sample of this, but as we progress during the webinar, when we have the other session, we will deep dive into some of these functions that are used as part of the trainings. Excel for accountants, and then we'll look at some financial modeling skills as well, including management accounts preparation and all. So thank you very much for your time, and hope you have a nice day. So my colleague will take over from here. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, Mr. Tochukwu, are you here? Over to you, Mr. Tochukwu.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you. I believe the Excel session was quite enlightening. Okay, so right now I'd like to share my screen and present the slides.
Okay.
Thank you. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
I can.
Okay, thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I hope we've been enjoying the class so far.
Yes, sir.
I believe the class was quite on a fast pace, but I know that when we resume the other session, it will be a gradual step, to be gradual. So when you look at what Wilson has been presenting so far, you see a whole lot of rows and columns, a whole lot of numbers. And we know that numbers tell a story, but Excel has a way of just hiding the stories that the numbers are telling, right? So that's why we have tools like Power BI. So Power BI moves from static reporting to interactive dashboards. So it combines multiple data sources in one view. You can use it to track your revenue, expenses, profitability visually. So imagine you are going for a management meeting, and as the CFO of your company, you are supposed to present how revenue has grown from one level to another, how expenses, how the cost of goods affect our profitability and all. You are just trying to tell a story. from the numbers, or what has changed over time, or how the price of fuel has really affected the sales over the period, right? Or maybe there's any seasonality in your sales, right? You might not be able to do that with Excel. So that's where Power BI comes in. So Power BI is quite interactive. You can use it to tell a story. You can use it to do a presentation. So during this short webinar, I'm going to show us how to load the data from your Excel on your Power BI and some other interesting things you can do on Power BI. Maybe share a data set that we might subsequently use after now. Then maybe show you a dashboard we've built over time and work from there. But before I continue with that, I would like to call in. I would like to usher in Dorothy to tell us about the training that is coming up. So where we'll have enough time to go through all these things, and explore the wonderful capability of Power BI, especially for accountants. So Dorothy, are you ready for that? Hi, Dorothy. All right. So maybe before Dorothy comes up, I would like to continue with the class. So there is one interesting thing about Power BI. Am I audible? Can anyone hear me?
You
Yes,
are,
I
you
can hear you
are.
clearly from my end.
Okay,
hear
thank
you.
you so much.
I can hear
Thank you
you.
so much. Yeah, thank you. All right. So one thing about Power BI is, though you can use it to build dashboards, you can use it to visualize your data as an accountant, but its power or its capability, exceeds more than that. You can use it to do a whole lot of things. You can integrate your Excel to your Power BI so that you don't need to be building your dashboard at every time. For example, if you work in a bank and let's say there is a monthly performance review, MPR, right? And you working in the finance team, maybe in strategy team, you need to present the performance of the various branches in the bank. And you can do it in such a way that once you update your Excel, right, you can just refresh your Power BI and the performance reports will be automatically updated. So you don't need to be building the dashboard every month, something like that. So you can connect your Excel workbook directly to your Power BI. You can refresh the reports with minimal manual efforts. It will eliminate repetitive monthly report cycles, or you build a simple automated report workflow. So as an accountant, you don't have to be doing this building dashboard every month when you have to present to the management team how the company is performing and so on and so forth. Or if maybe you are the manager of a branch, right? So one thing that this knowledge of Power BI also helps you to do is that even if you are not the one building the reports, right? For you to be able to audit the reports, you need to have this knowledge so that you can be able to audit it, know what your finance team member is doing, right? So for example, I'm going to share a sales dashboard to see how this actually works. For example, if you have this dashboard, right, and let's say you want to make it interactive, this dashboard is already interactive, right? You want to see the category of pizzas that have been sold, You want to see how the trend of sales over time, maybe during the week or weekends, how is our sale going?
But try generator and no matter.
All right, kindly mute your mic, please. Right, you can just build it in such a way that you can know which of your products. For example, if you have chicken pizza, you can know how chicken pizza sale is going, through the day. Now, from this report, you can see that people order chicken pizza a lot on Friday. So your management will know how to strategize around sales, around promotion. Maybe you need to do more of promotion on Wednesday. You can see the sales on Wednesday and Sunday are quite low. Then you want to, for each category of products you are selling, right? So another thing is you can, if your report is like covers different periods, multiple periods, you can choose the time. Like this one covers a
I'm
particular
so
year.
sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Tochukwu, I'm so sorry. Mr. Wilson, apologies everyone. I said, let me just share my screen and the network threw me out. Apologies everyone.
All right.
Okay. All right. So if you don't mind, please, I just want to quickly share my screen.
Okay. Excuse me, everyone.
Just to talk through what we have in stock for our dear participants. Okay.
Okay. Please go ahead. Can you share your screen now?
Yes, I'm about doing that now.
Okay.
Just a minute.
Okay, let me stop sharing for my end. Okay, right. You can share now.
Okay. Okay, so a minute, please. Can't find the document to share. Okay. Can you see my screen? Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Now. It's up
All
now.
right,
You
thank
can
you.
enlarge it.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. So is it better now?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay, okay.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon again, everyone. Okay. Okay. All right. So I know Mr. Wilson had mentioned the point whereby to know more on what we are discussing, we can register for the upcoming training. The training dates are May 2nd, 3rd, 9th, and 10th. Yes, they are all weekends. And registration for the full program starts today, actually. And then because of the good hearts of our dear districts, Ijebu Ode District, we've come up with a plan to say that there'll be a discount. So there's going to be a discounted fee. Registration for the discounted rate will last up until April 13th, which is Monday, and the fee is 19,750. Please note that after the deadline on Monday, then it goes back to 30,000. It's a consideration from the district just for participants that are in this free webinar to take advantage of, till the 13th of April. So the training is one that promises more of on especially what our dear facilitators have talked about. So it's something that we believe we can key into so that we can have our own training, have good practical knowledge of what we are talking about on advanced Excel and Power BI. So as we stated, what you need to get, you get from training, also templates, case studies, real case studies, live case studies, you know, that you can actually have practical knowledge of, and then you can use that in carrying out different exercises. We also have financial modeling and dashboard projects that you'll be carrying out, and then also support for implementation or any work issues, you know, in real life. So that's one of those are some of the benefits that you get from the training. In addition, also for more information, you can join the WhatsApp group. We've dropped the link to the WhatsApp group in the Zoom chat. So we also need to take note. I dropped the chat some minutes ago on attendance, because as you all know,
Please, can
this
you
free
drop
webinar
again?
comes
Just to
with
hold
another freebie, which is the under benefit, you know, and that is the 2 units MCPD that will be given to us at the end of the training when we register, when we fill the attendance form. So we should just take note of this. I don't know if Chairman wants to say anything now before Mr. Tochukwu continues. Okay.
All right, thank you. I'd like to, Madam Dorothy, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wilson, for the earlier presentation, and Mr. Tochukwu. I'd like to mention that we do understand that a number of persons will be interested in being part of the paid webinar because some persons have spoken with us prior to now. If anybody had seen the initial flyer for this Power BI training, it was set at 50,000 naira. A lot of persons reached out that they want to be part of it, but the fee is what the issue is. And for those who are attending this training, there's going to be a reference code that will be shared. And the 19,750 discounted fee is actually going to be for the first 20 persons to register. I know that a lot of persons may want to benefit, but we may not be able to keep the discounted fee available for a long time for obvious reasons, because what we are trying to do is to be able to accommodate at least some persons that will be part of the training or want to be part of the training, but for the fee that may be a little bit on the high side. That's why we're actually coming down to 19,750 naira. We must understand that the training is going to be for 4 days, and is going to be with certification, and it's going to also be with mentorship after the training. So what happens is that there is a community you'll be able to join after the training that helps you to grow your skill, that helps you to build on what you have learned within the training. So I'd like to encourage and ask us to take advantage of this moment, this time, to be able to improve our capacity in this accounting field that we are all working in. Even for students too, who are interested in growing their skills while being undergraduates, we are also being welcomed. So I'd like to ask that the link be shared on the WhatsApp group. The link for the attendance is very important. Please, we'll appeal to all those that I've seen some persons who are leaving their membership number, those who are ICAN members. Please ensure you fill the form, the Google form that the link will be dropped. And let us fill it. And then for those who are not yet on the WhatsApp group, you could check the WhatsApp link in the chat box so that you could join. It will help you to get access to more information. On this note, I would like to say thank you and allow the rest of the training to continue. Thank you very much. Mr. Tochukwu.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Tochukwu, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, able chairman. Thank you, Dorothy, for that. So I would like to share my screen again so we can continue from where we stopped. So I was talking about a sales dashboard that we can prepare as an accountant or maybe a team lead or manager at a company. For example, if you are trying to present to your management how sales has been behaving over time and you want to make a decision on how to, maybe like know which day we have more sales, maybe on which day we need to do more sales promotion in the company. For example, you can build a dashboard that has contains the number of days in the week and how each of our product is performing on each of those days, right? So, for example, you have the veggie pizza. You can see veggie pizza is being sold on Fridays, and over the month, you can see the sales, going up and down, and suddenly declined in October. So you would like to know what actually happened in October, and what did we do to improve sales over time. And you can see this company is actually the sales is really declining. It really went high in July, just like that. So you can do a simple analysis on the side of your dashboard, right, to tell a story to your management. Can do like a total, so basically this training, we will not be able to, this webinar, we will not be able to explore all the wonderful capacities of our Power BI, but I'll just give us an intro so that we can have a view of how we can use Power BI to explore our report as accountants. So I'm going to show you how you can actually import data to your Power BI and, show you one other quality of Power BI that you cannot actually resist. So let me go to this presentation. I've talked about how you can actually integrate your Excel to your Power BI and, make sure you don't repeat the updates from time to time, right? So let's just look at how to actually import data into your Power BI, right? Let's see that quickly. Now, before that, I know that most of us are already familiar with, or some of us are already familiar with Power BI, or we've heard of it. We've heard that it's a tool for visualization, but do you know how to install it? Now, it's very easy. Just go to if you are using a Windows operating system, you can just go to your Microsoft, just watch me. You can go to your Microsoft store. When you open your Microsoft store, just search for Power BI and you see your Power BI desktop, which that is what you install. When you click on it, if you've not installed it, you'll be able to install it here, and it's very easy to install. So when you actually install it and you open it, you see an interface just like what I'm about to show. So when you open it, you see an interface like this, where you can import data from Excel, import data from SQL server, can paste data into a blank table or use a sample data. All right, okay. So pardon me, I was just trying my hands on few reports before now. So one thing we can do is to import data into Power BI in order to actually, have this kind of beautiful dashboards that we have here, or as somebody in finance and accounting department, you can actually build a dashboard that has to do with a financial analysis report where you have the orders. Let's say you work in a multinational and you have different orders from different countries. You want to look at the profit margin from each of those countries. You want to see the discount offered and all those things. You can even build a dashboard for each line item from your income statement, right? So one thing about building dashboard is you don't just open Power BI and you start building dashboards. Just start building anything that comes to your mind. As an accountant, you need to know what the management is knowing. What does the management team want to know? They want to know, I believe the management team wants to know the revenue of the company. They want to know maybe like the EBITDA, they want to know the gross profit, they want to know the profit before tax and maybe profit after tax. Depending on the company you are working for and depending on why you are making that presentation, right? So Power BI helps you. But apart from it helping you, you need to apply your own intelligence because Power BI means power business intelligence, right? But there's always that human intelligence added to it. So for example, if your management team wants to go for, a loan, right? Or maybe they want to increase their debt capital. They want to know, of course, your company will want to know if their leverage ratio is high or low, and maybe what else? Their ability to pay back, right, is looking good, right? So one thing is, first of all, you would like to import your data into your Power BI. How do you do that? You just go to home and click on Get Data, right? So there are different sources you can get data into your Power BI, right? You can get from Excel workbook, Power BI, semantic models, data flows, SQL Server, and the rest, just like that. So for this particular session, we would like to get from Excel workbook, right? So what we can do is just go to where the data is. Just go to where the data is and, you can just point to the data, right? Power BI, financial sample. Now the data starts to load, right? So it might take a little while depending on the size of the data. Right, but before you actually load your data, you must have opened your data, viewed the components of your data, what is contained in your data. You want to see the data types and everything before you actually load this your Power BI, right? You still need your knowledge in Excel to do that. So Power BI will load the data. So once Power BI has loaded the data, you select which data you want to view on your Power BI. You can see for this, we clicked on a table on a workbook and it's showing us, in this workbook, it's showing us the table, it's showing us a table and it's showing us a sheet. Of course, you will always want to go for this table because your Power BI is seeing it in form of a table, right? If you select this, let's say, now, but it's more preferable to go for this so that you can make necessary adjustments. Now, if you are sure of your data, you can see the headings and all, you can just go ahead and click on this green button, load. But then, if you want to explore the wonderful power of Power BI, you can click on transform data. right? What Power BI does is it opens up a Power Query. It opens up Power Query Editor, which is like the main machine in your Power BI, where you do your cooking, right? So in this Power Query Editor, you can transform the data, you can add column, you can view the data, you can use all that tools like diagnose steps, start diagnosis, and the rest. So you can go to home and see, look at this data, look at the headings. Is it having the right headings or the right header, right? Is the header having the right unit? If, for example, this discount band is not having the right, unit of measurement or the right style, you can as well change it. So just take a good look at your data, whether your data is behaving well, right? So after doing that, you can do a whole of maybe calculation, editing or anything you want to do using all these ribbons you have here, right? So once you're done with that, you can just come here, close and apply. If you have made any changes, you close and apply, right? Just close and apply. Let's assume you've made some changes. So it actually loads your data. Power Query actually loads your data, and then you now start, doing your analysis, doing your visualization. Then if you still want to do any other changes, still go back to this transform data, right? Just go back to your data and work on it. If you want to view the data you have loaded, you can just come to this table view and look at the data as you've loaded, just like that. Sorry, my network is slowing down. Am I still audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
Yes, sir.
Can still hear you.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
All right, sir. Okay. I believe I'm going too fast. But then in the end, as an accountant, you can end up preparing a dashboard, right, for your management team to look at, for example, that data I just loaded, you have sales from different countries, orders from different countries, you want to look at the different segments of your revenue, the profit margin, and the rest of them. So I believe that during our, more intense training, we'll be able to, go step by step and explore the wonderful power of Power BI. So I don't know. Let me look at our Power Query again. Let me see. All right, so there are different things you can do on Power BI, which actually helps you to, visualize your reports. Your management will not need to be looking at the figures. For example, if you want to present to your management and you want to present a report to your management and they have something like this, I'm very sure they will not be able to make sense of these figures, right? They won't be able to make, because this is the data we just loaded on our Power BI. They won't be able to make sense of this. I think one of the things you can do on Excel is to prepare a power pivot or a pivot table, to help you to see. Then you can also do some visualization. But one wonderful power of Power BI is that it's interactive. You can always update the data on a monthly basis, So, and that is why it's called a business intelligence tool. So I believe during our other session, the other training that is coming up, we'll be able to really take time to explore, because Power BI is quite interesting and it's not something you rush over, because I believe some accountants are not actually used to this particular tool, and some people depend on their IT team to, help them prepare this, or maybe outsource it to maybe a business analyst or something like that. So I don't know if anyone has any question based on what we've discussed so far before Mr. Wilson comes up to take up the remaining session.
Okay, so sir, there's a question here from Belumi. Says, what options are for MacBook users for Power BI and how to install?
Yes, for MacBook users, you can also go to your App Store, try installing it, right? I'm sure it will be very, very easy for you to install, right? You can try it. I don't have access to MacBook right now. I would have presented this to you. But then, if you have your MacBook close to you, try and see if you have Power BI on your MacBook, or maybe you can use a third-party website to install your Power BI, right?
Okay, I hope Belumi is okay with that. There's a second question. It says, is there a notification on Power BI that timestamps, that's time of import of data, please show, or is it dynamic so that changes in Excel is automatically updated and uploaded in Power BI without?
Sorry, can you take that question again? Something on timestamp. Hello, can you hear me? I think we lost Dorothy there.
Can you hear me now? Oh,
Yeah, I
sorry.
can hear you. Yeah.
Sorry. So I was asking a question for the same Pelumi. Is asking, I don't know if they he or she, is saying, is there a notification on Power BI that timestamps, that is timestamps, of import of data, if we have timestamps of the import of data, or is it dynamic such that changes, when you change anything in Excel, is automatically updated and uploaded in Power BI without refreshing?
All right. So if Power BI is basically used for reports, right? So, but if you want to, update your data from time to time, you need to actually refresh your data. You need to refresh whatever data you have uploaded on Power BI, without actually building the dashboard afresh, since you are using the same metrics, same table headers and every other thing, right? But if you're talking about tracking your data, I believe there are other tools to use for that. Maybe you want to track your projects. Maybe you can use Microsoft Project for that. But Power BI is basically, you can use it to build a data model. You can use it to transform your data to whatever you want it to be, and ultimately build a visible dashboard. I can see David Oluwatayo raising his hand. I don't know if
Yes,
he
he's
has a
raising his hand.
contribution.
I think, yes, he has something.
Yeah,
Mr. David, yeah.
thank you. Thank you, Dorothy.
Yes, sir.
For the question, the person that asked about how to download Power BI on Mac,
Okay.
irrespective of whether it is Mac or Microsoft, you can just go to your browser on your machine and just type download Power BI. It will take you to the link where you can download, and it will be compatible with your MacBook or Microsoft, as the case may be. Not necessarily from Play Store. You can also go to your browser and just type download Power BI.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Download it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you, David. So there's another question here. I saw a question. No, I don't want to miss anybody's question. Okay, so it's from Miss Angela.
Okay. Hi, Dorothy. Can hear you.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you now,
My
Dorothy.
question is Power BI, is it an app? Okay, I think we've answered that. Is it an app or an accounting software? I don't know if you just want to throw my light. I know the last caller, David, said we can go to our browser.
So Power BI is not an accounting software, but it's basically used by accountants. It's a business intelligence software, right? It's an application, it's a software on its own. It's an over-the-counter software, right? That means it can be used by anybody. Just go to your store like Microsoft Store and install it from there. It is free to use. You can either sign in or you might still build your report without signing in, right? Thank you. Hi, Dorothy. You can go on with the next question.
I have question.
All right,
Please.
Okay, sorry. I was just
okay.
looking through, but I think I've come to the, I don't know if I missed any. Somebody even just wanted to say something.
Okay, I can see
Please, who wanted to speak?
raising his
Okay.
hand.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good
So
afternoon.
please, I want to ask, like in this Power BI now, this is like what you started here, sales dashboard. Is there a way we can automate it so that at the maybe for previous months, let's say the consequent months will not be like to
Building it
avoid
over and
the
over again,
repetition.
right?
Yes, is there any way we can automate so that once we
Yes.
have sales, you can automate immediately without you inputting, start to redo again. Is there any way, is there anything we can do about it?
Yes, of
I
course.
don't know
We
whether you
talked about
understand me.
that. Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah, so we talked about that. So that is what we are going to explore during our training. We talked about how you can update your Excel. Once you update your Excel, right, you can refresh your data. Once you refresh your data, you see your report will automatically be updated to, reflect what you currently have in your data. Right, so you don't need to start building the dashboard afresh.
Okay.
I hope that answers your
Thank
question.
you. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Toshuku. I think Mr. Wilson can come over now to take the remaining part of the session. We can take the remaining questions at the end of the session. Thank you so much, everyone. Mr. Wilson, sir, over to you.
Okay, again, thank you. Let me share my screen once again. So, okay, again, thank you once again.
Apologies, sir. I just wanted to train something. So please, for people that are asking for the attendance, like I said, we'll drop the link shortly, please. Very soon we'll drop that. Just please ensure that you fill the attendance and form. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you once again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, thank you once again. I really do not have much to say. It's just to kind of be rounding up with the training with the session. Just to mention the career and income opportunities and then the business impact of the training. And one of the takeaway you can get from being a member of this training is the fact that you can easily transition into roles like financial planning and analysis, and also analytics-oriented roles. And you know that analytics-oriented roles are the forefront of finance and accounting because these are actually people that help management make decisions. And there are key roles in finance. even the ladder of transitioning to a financial controller and CFO and all that. So for most people that have take up their career so far, I believe FP&A provided a solid foundation for that, and that can it's not negotiable. So it increases your value. This training will increase your value as part of the financing. It offers you dashboarding and reporting services and you can also create consulting services out of it. You can help clients build dashboards, custom reports, templates and all, and you can provide freelance services and also provide corporate training opportunities for you. So these are some of the benefits that you intend to get by career and income opportunities that you intend to get by enrolling in the full-fledged training as advised. So it's a highly marketable skill and sets you better in a better position for promotion and advisory work. Lastly, it's a call to action. What participants should expect next, like Madam Dorothy explained earlier on, advanced Excel and Power BI training, hands-on templates and case studies, financial modeling and dashboards, support for implementation in real work. So, and then we expect that, okay, we get to see during the next webinar session, which is as advised, and then we get to deep dive into all of these, building this, the models from scratch, working on projection, reporting templates, dashboards, and Power BI. So thank you once again for being on the call. At this junction, I will drop my screen for Dorothy to just round up and the chairman to give a closing on that. Thank you, and do have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes.
I can hear you.
All
I
right.
can hear you.
Thank you, everyone, for being a part of this. We trust that this was a fruitful use of your time, and that you've benefited something. Even though it's not the full training, at least we understand now that we can be a part of the training that is upcoming, so that we can learn more, and then we can be of better use, in better efficiency in our different roles. Okay, all right. So so sorry. I will drop the attendance link. Please look out for the link. So sorry. We're just trying to conclude. So let me just drop that now so that we can pick up that link, open up the form, and fill the form respectively. Okay, it will be dropped now. So I think at this point I will just ask our dear chairman to come in right now for his closing remark. Thank you, everyone. Okay.
All right.
Mr.
Thank you
Chairman,
very
sir.
much, ma'am. Before I have my
Yes, sir.
closing remark, I see that
Yes, sir.
somebody is raising his hand. I see Ijebu Ode raising a hand.
Oh, okay.
Please unmute.
Good morning.
Good
Good
afternoon.
morning, ma'am.
Oh, sorry, good afternoon. I'm raising my
Yes, sir.
hand to find out what discount code actually means on the attendance form.
That is not the
Okay.
attendance.
All right. No, that's not the attendance form. That's the registration form. The one posted on the group,
For the
you mean?
discounted training.
Did you hear that, ma'am?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So the attendance form has just been dropped. I don't know if that's the...
All right.
If you've seen... Yeah.
I'd like to say thank you on behalf of ICAN Ijebu Ode District. I would like to say thank you to everyone that has been the participants at this webinar. I have no doubt that we may have added to our knowledge. I also believe that some of us will be part of our training that is coming up early next month. And we are looking forward to have you for the 4 days intensive training. And I'm also looking forward that at the end of the 4 days training, we can specifically say that as professional accountants, we have been able to grow from where we used to be to where we now want to be, specifically to be a data-driven accountant, because in the world of today, in the 21st century, there is a lot that has to do with data, and we have a lot of data on our hands. The question is, what are we doing with it? What are we using it for? How are we helping the organization, the management, and even our own personal business to make the right decision? So then what I'd just like to say is that I received message that the 20 persons that we had earlier is not enough. So we would extend it to 25 persons, the first 25 persons for the discounted price to be able to pay for the paid webinar. We will be allowed to pay the 19,750. Subsequently, we have 30,000 naira for the training fee. So once again, on behalf of ICAN Ijebu Ode District, as well as TOBIT CEC Professional, I'd like to thank you for being part of the webinar of today, as I look forward to meeting you at our paid webinar coming up starting May 2nd, 2026. May God spare our lives. Thank you very much. I see that the attendance link has been shared. Please, let's fill it, and we'll be sure to get our MCPD credit unit. Thank you very much for being part of it, and God bless every one of us.
Amen. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I would like to add, I'm still here. We're going to still be here for some time, especially because of the attendance link. Please, if you've not gotten it, please let me know. We've already dropped the link here. And in addition, I can see some people are already making payments. Please fill the form, the registration form. Can you hear me, everyone? Don't just send payment and make payment and then send evidence of payment. Fill the form. Is on the group chat, on the WhatsApp group chat. Can you hear me? There's the registration form. It's on the group chat. I don't know if anybody have seen it. If you are not on the group chat, let me know, please. The account detail for the payment. Oh, God. Oh, okay. Okay, let me drop that to you. Just hold on, please.
Mr. Emmanuel Okore.
1 minute, please. I'm still here. I've not left here. Just hold on. Okay, so
good afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon to the chairman and the facilitators who've done a good job. I want to ask, what is the deadline for the payment for the registration?
For the discounted registration, that is April 13th, 6 p.m., April 13th. But subsequently, it's going to be 30,000, okay, and you still have till at least a day before the training commences.
All right, thank you.
All right, sir.